There isn't one. I like to get everything as much done live as possible because then that's a lot less for me to do later. And it feels good. And then, but it depends on the kind of record you're making. You might be making a record that is loop-oriented, sample-oriented, pop-oriented in that way. And there's no such thing as the live tracking date. It's here's all the programming, here's the vocals, let's add some live drums later. So it just depends on the song. But the kind of music that I like to listen to would almost always originate with a live session and most of it being kept. I just, you don't know, you hope. You think that one sounded good to me, that's the take, and you hope that later on it still sounds good to you, and usually it does. I mean, again, once you do this just a few times, you get a real sense of what felt good and what didn't. Did it feel good or did it not? Is it working as a song? Does it sound like a record in the control room even though it's just the basic tracks, So if you sit back and go, man, this sounds good, it does. It sounds good, unless you're, a functional moron in the studio, and then in that case, you should just not be in there. But I make mistakes, I think that something's a take, and 4 days later, I don't like it anymore. I'm in that situation right now, and I'm about to put new drums on a track because I'm not happy with it, and I can't put my finger on it, except that it doesn't make me happy every time I open it. And that's, not a good sign for something that is supposed to go on a record, because I'll skip it. I don't want everybody skipping it. You're either out of money, or you're out of time, or it's done. Mostly, the record's done when you're either tired of it, or you're finished because somebody's going on the road, or there are people that keep reopening their records over the course of a year and then finally come out with the final version, and half the time the one that was finished in a couple months was great and could have come out. Again, it depends on the bar that you're being asked to reach by yourself or by public opinion. So you might think your record's done, and then you find out from your label your record's not done, and you're done with it, and that's not fun. So mostly it's done when you meet the end of your schedule, all your mixes are finished, they've been tweaked, they're approved, record's mastered, everybody's satisfied. It's done. Well, that's, you say obviously the vocal, of course. I guess the bass. I don't know. Because when the bass is cool, you're cool. Not necessarily. It has to be the vocal. I just like bass, so for me, some of my favorite songs are because the bass line is so groovy. But that's not really answering your question. There's no way to say that. That would be like saying, what's the most important part of the house, the roof or the foundation or the walls, or the, toilet. Without any one of those factors, you're uncomfortable. So, yeah.